Namaskaram, all of you. Welcome to Shyam's Storytime. So glad to meet everybody once again. Today I have an interesting story of King Vikramaditya. Are you all ready to listen? This story is called the Tantrikschair. King Vikramaditya, for the person that he was, walked all the way back to the drumstick tree, picked up the corpse, hung it on his shoulders, and walked towards the crematorium. The Vetal told him another story, and the story goes like this. Long ago, there was a vast kingdom that was ruled by a great king. One day, the king heard news about an ancient temple that was in the middle of the forest in their jurisdiction. This ancient temple has collapsed. The king was very upset about it. Such a beautiful temple many years ago, but this one has collapsed. So he ordered all his men to go to that place and make sure that everything was cleared. So all his men went there, they cleared all the debris of the fallen down temple. They noticed that there was a tunnel somewhere hidden underneath. Some of these workers were very curious. They wanted to go into the tunnel and see what lay inside. As they went inside, it came to a stall where there was a secret chamber. And in that chamber, there was a huge chair. It had various symbols on it. So all of them were aghast. They came running out of the tunnel. They came and informed the king of what they saw. The king immediately said, I knew that something like that would be there. I was expecting it. You all know, long ago, there was a Tantrik who lived there. Tantrik means a sorcerer. So this Tantrik was living exactly around that place, and he had a magic chair. And sometime later, when he died, the chair vanished actually. A lot of people tried to find it, but to their dismay, they could never find his chair, and then everything about it was forgotten. So I was wondering where it went, and I guess it is this chair that belongs to the Tantrik. Can all of you bring it out of the tunnel very carefully? Bring it to my palace. As was the king's command, the king's people went into the tunnel, picked up the chair, brought it to the palace. It was a huge chair. So the king said that this chair itself is so magical, it has so many properties. If there is a Tantrik who actually, fasts for 3 days and then does so many Tantric rituals, and if he sits on this chair after that, he possesses great Tantric power with which he can do many bad things, evil things for others. You have to be very careful. Nevertheless, this chair looks so aesthetic, so beautiful. Look at all the different symbols that are there. I want everybody in our kingdom to have a look at this chair. So this chair was kept at a proper place, the palace. It was available for the public to view. So the public was let inside. Every day, hundreds of people would come there simply to have a glimpse of this Tantrik's chair. They would all come, they would look at this chair and they say, oh, so beautiful, this and that. And they would walk away. One day it so happened, there was a young sorcerer who came to visit the Tantrik's chair. He actually cut the queue without the guards seeing. He went and sat in the chair. Immediately the guards pulled him out and threw him out of the palace. This was told to the king. The king did not like what happened. He knows the abilities of this chair, what all it is capable of, right? So he said, I think we should stop this public viewing business. Put it in a separate chamber in the palace itself. Let us not allow public to view it. So the chair was shifted to a secret chamber. The fort, it was guarded by 6 guards. Okay, 6 of them were there. One was the chief guard. Without his knowledge, nobody can come there or see the Tantrik's chair. A few days passed. There was a royal priest to this kingdom. The king liked the royal priest so much, he had a lot of respect for him. Whatever was the advice of the royal priest, the king would always follow. One day, this royal priest had a visitor. He had a guest. His name was Puneet. Puneet was coming there after like 20 years. The royal priest had met him before 20 years. He was like an old friend for him. Puneet came and told the priest, I would like to see the Tantrik's chair. Can you help me do it? He asked. The priest said, no, I'm not interested in doing all these. I think you should find a better... I don't think it is possible. You please keep your way. Puneet went back to his home. But he was so bent upon somehow seeing the tantrikschair. Every day he would come and ask the priest. The priest will say, no, that's not possible. I don't want to ask the king for a favor like this. My friend has come. Can he please see the chair? I don't want to ask the king for such favors. I hope you understand my position. Please don't come and ask me for this. So what happened? Puneet tried different means. Somehow he found out who was the chief guard of the tantrikschair. He went and met him at his home and he said, I really want to see the chair. Can you please help me? He said, okay, no problem. One day if you want to visit, nobody is going to question. It's okay, you can come. Tomorrow at this time you come there, he said. The chief guard happened to meet the royal priest in the palace the next morning. He told him there was this guy named Puneet. I believe he's also your friend. He came and said he wants to visit the chair. The priest grew suspicious. He told the chief guard, are you sure it was Puneet? Yeah, it is. The priest went and complained to the king. He said, you must change the chief guard at this chamber where you have kept the tantrikschair. He seems to be allowing other people to visit it. It's against your command, your majesty, he said. The king immediately ordered that the chief guard be changed. The same day, the guard was changed. Puneet went at the appointed time. He could not find the chief guard there with whom he had spoken. There was somebody else. So it's not possible to see the chair. He came back. Then he tried other means. He found out who was one of the courtiers in the king's court, and then he befriended him. And then he said, I want to see the chair. Okay, come today. I will take you. So again, this courtier happened to meet the royal priest and told him, there's this person, I believe is your friend. He wants to see the chair. I have told him, okay. Now the royal priest grew very angry at this. He said, you have to meet the consequences if you allow this. And he went off. The courtier thought about what the priest has said. What would be the consequence if I let anybody see the chair? Then he didn't want to take any chance. He came and told Puneet, sorry, I can't do it. The king is not interested in allowing anybody. Puneet was so very left down. He kept coming and asking the royal priest. He's an old friend, right? 20-year-old friend. He kept coming and saying, I tried to get the permission of the chief guard. It didn't work. I tried to befriend a courtier. It didn't work. I have a feeling you have a hand on all of this. The chief priest said, look here, I'm already feeling sick. Please don't blame such things on me. I don't have anything about it. I feel, Puneet, you have to leave this place and go back to wherever you belong. It is not possible for you to see the chair once again, he said. Puneet stayed in the same city for a few more days. He tried other means, and of course, all his endeavors failed because the chief priest made sure that this did not happen. Then Puneet finally decided, let me go back home. So he packed all his things and he wanted to leave for his city. As he was leaving, he met the priest on the way. He said, I'm leaving for my city. Finally, I was never able to see the tantrikschair, but it's okay. Now the priest felt very bad. He said, Puneet, I'm very sorry if you feel that it is me who caused all this. Why don't you come and stay with me in my home for a few days? I will arrange for grand meals for you, he said. Puneet said, why not? Okay. So Puneet came and stayed at the priest's home. At least for 2-3 days he stayed, and every day he was given grand meals which he relished so much. He had long chat sessions with the priest, and at the end of the third day the priest said, today I will take you to visit the tantrikschair. Puneet was aghast. What is this? So many days he has been behind him, not able to view the tantrikschair. All of these days he tried so much to look at the tantrikschair, and it was the priest who made sure that this was never possible. But today he said he would take him. He was surprised, he was shocked, but at the same time excited. He said, definitely. That day, the priest took him to visit the tantrikschair. Puneet looked at it, he was so happy, and that evening he packed his bag, he left for the city. Now the Vetal stopped the story here and asked Vikramaditya, well, Vikramaditya, I have a question for you. What do you think made the priest stop all the endeavors made by Puneet to look at the tantrikschair so many days, but one fine day he simply took it? Well, why do you think the priest did this? And the Vetal reminded King Vikramaditya once again, if you uttered a word, I would fly back to my tree. But if you know the answer to this question and still stayed quiet, your head would burst into a million pieces, said the Vetal. Now, King Vikramaditya thought for a moment. He said, I know the answer to this question. The royal priest was doubting Puneet all these days. That is why he made sure he did not see the tantrikschair. The priest thought that Puneet himself could be a young sorcerer. In fact, he was seeing him after 20 years. What if he was a sorcerer and he tried to do something with the tantrikschair? Remember, the king had already said that anybody that sits on this tantrikschair will get evil powers. So the priest did not want to do that. That is why he made sure that Puneet never got a chance to see the tantrikschair. But at the end of it, he made sure Puneet stayed with him for 3 days. He ate meals with him and then he took it. It was because at that point in time, he got it confirmed that Puneet is not a young sorcerer. How did he get it confirmed? Because the king had also earlier said that one that wants to sit on this chair has to perform some tantric rituals. He had to fast for 3 days and then only sit on this chair to acquire all these tantric powers. Here, Puneet was with the priest for 3 days. Every meal he was relishing with the priest. He was not fasting. So the priest understood and got it confirmed that Puneet is not a young sorcerer. Now he considered him just as a long lost friend, 20-year-old friend. That is why he took him to the court that day for him to see the tantrikschair. The Vetala was surprised with the answer given by King Vikramaditya. The Vetal was excited and told the king, "You have broken your silence." And it disengaged itself from the king and flew back to the tree. That's the end of today's episode. Did you all like today's story? If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel, 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐧𝐠. You will have access to all the stories that I upload. Every Saturday, you get to hear a story of King Vikramaditya in English, and on Sundays, you get to hear a Panchatantra tale, Tamil. All of these stories from the comfort of your mobile phone. My name is Shyamala and I'm a passionate storyteller. I will meet you in the next story. Bye-bye.